Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about how Scream 8 has brand new writers, and I am both thrilled but slightly worried. Also, happy April Fool's Day. No, this is not an April Fool's like joke. I hate uploading this today. But the confirmation came yesterday, but I was busy yesterday, and so I'm uploading it now. So yeah, I normally don't upload on April Fool's Day because it's April Fool's Day, but I assure you, I promise to God, this is not a joke. This is actually real. So, my prayers have been answered. Guy Busick will not write Scream 8, and I'm so happy. Like, honest to God, man, I did not want that man to write another Scream movie. I don't know why he's out, but he's out. Maybe, just maybe, the writings on the wall, he got the memo. He realized, hey, look, people don't like my movies that much. Let me get on out of here. Or maybe the new studio, or not the new studio, but like the studio with the new CEO and everything, was just kind of like, hey, this ain't that great and everything. Or I don't know what the heck happened, but maybe it is word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of people just aren't happy with Scream 5, 6, and 7 when it comes to his writing. I've said myself, he's very incomplete when he writes. Because here's the thing, I've never seen Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, or Here We Come, whatever it's called. But I saw the first one last month. And I decided just to not talk about it only because I really did not like that movie. Everybody seemed to love that movie when it came out in 2019. And I don't really see why. Once again, it has incomplete writing and everything to where I constantly kept asking myself tons of questions. And also the humor just didn't really land. Like, I'm sorry, you can't get a bunch of serious actors and actresses and expect them to do comedy. Like, you just can't. But the second movie's coming out and it's doing just okay at the box office. But it doesn't, from right now, it seems to be kind of stuck where it's at and not really building no more money. And a lot of people don't really like it because they say, it's just a retread of the first movie. And how many years it's been? What, 6 years since the first movie? That's a long time for a sequel. And the first one seemed like it was one and done. So what was the point in making the second one other than money? You know what I'm saying? It made a whole lot of money. But it's like there's so many different directions you could have went in. Why the world would you go into like that direction that he went in with like all these other families now, hunting down Grace and her sister? It's just, I'm sorry, this man can't write. I'm sorry, he just can't. So I'm thrilled and I'm happy he is gone. However, Kevin Williamson will not be directing Scream 8. He announced that a long time ago. Honestly, I don't believe what he says. I don't believe he's busy with another project. I just believe word of mouth. Everybody kept criticizing, like his direction because it was okay, but it was so bland. Like the only really good, directing part that I liked in that movie was I liked the part with the crawl space in the wall. I liked that part. I liked the part when Tatum was running from Ghostface in the street, but then it ended very quickly, but it should have expanded a bit more. I also liked the part when Hannah was dangling from that cord and Ghostface is trying to slash at her. Other than that, there really wasn't no good scenes other than when Jessica was Ghostface and Sydney's all like, let my daughter go. And she shook her head no. I'm like, oh, that was just so cool. Other than that, it was just kind of bland directing. And who knows, maybe people are sending him death threats like they did Christopher London as well. Those Melissa fans and everything. Like, who knows, you know what I'm saying? But he's out as director and now we got 2 new people. And I've never once heard of these two people. One is Nora Zuckerman and her sister Lila Zuckerman. And I've never heard of these two women, and I've never seen any of their projects. But I've heard of their projects. I just ain't never seen them. And so I welcome fresh, like new blood into like this franchise. But, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I am slightly worried and everything. Every time Scream gets a brand new writer that is not Kevin Williamson, those movies tend to not do well in the fandom and everything. Scream 3 was the first example of that. Like, they had a completely different writer for Scream 3. And I like Scream 3. I just don't love Scream 3. And of course, Scream 3 has studio interference because of the Columbine shooting and stuff. They had to make it more comedic. But there are just some elements in that movie just don't work. And then there is 5, 6, and 7, which was the new team led by Gary Busey and the other dude, right? And I still hate number 5 to this day. I think 6 and 7 are okay, but they are not great. And so every time Scream does get a new writer, I get kind of worried because I think back to like 5, 6, and 7, and I also think back to 3. Not only that, but after looking up these women's resume, I'm just kind of like, can they write horror? Can they write a slasher? Here's the thing, they tend to work on all their projects together, except for Nora has worked on one by herself. Now, some of their projects are Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Haven, Suits, Fringe, and even though I've never seen of those, like I've looked them up, they're not slasher horror. Like, oh, Poker Face as well. Now, Poker Face I did not look up, so I don't know what that's about. But I heard season 1 was great, but then for some bizarre reason, they canceled it after season 2. But Suits is not slasher, it's not horror. Fringe is kind of more like sci-fi thriller, so they got the thriller part right, because part of a slasher horror movie needs that thrill, but not the sci-fi part. Then there is Haven, which is more kind of like a thriller drama type thing, you know. And then there's the one thing that does concern me. They were supposed to write, well, they did write that Buffy revival, Buffy the New Sunnydale or whatever it's called from Hulu, which of course got scrapped. We still truly don't know all the details of what the heck happened. Sarah Michelle Gellar said that there was an executive who just hates Buffy, period, and just didn't want to greenlight the show. Other people at Hulu are saying that the pilot was not very good and they wanted rewrites and everything. And like, they did a bunch of rewrites, but they did not do reshoots because they just decided, let's just not go forward with this. So I believe both stories. I believe the pilot was not written very well, and I believe that executive just didn't like Buffy. For the simple fact, he's like, hey, look, pilot sucks. Here's the rewrites. I'm not reshooting. Let's just cancel. Now, here's the thing. Sarah Michelle Gellar said, do not read the leaked script that is floating around online because it is not complete. It is from like the original draft. The original draft sounds not that satisfying. It sounds horrible. Like, people go here to see Buffy and Sarah Michelle Gellar. But of course, we got a new Slayer and a brand new Scooby gang. A bunch of teenagers in high school. Buffy doesn't show up in the leaked script until the very end of like the pilot. And she's working at like a job she doesn't like. Why would you write that? Why would you even consider that as like an original draft? Like, why? Why would you do that? That's just dumb. So yeah, they had to do rewrites. Were the rewrites successful? We will never ever know because they were never filmed, and so we will never find out. But for the fact that these two women, or sisters, I should say, have written stuff that aren't really slasher horror, and then the Buffy thing is the major thing that concerns me. It makes me wonder, are they right for this team or not? You know what I'm saying? And that's just what has me concerned. Like, I don't want them coming in and doing another Scream 3 or another Scream 5. Scream 5 always felt like a television movie to me, or a TV episode. And I truly believe Gary Busey just took like elements from Scream, the television series. Now, if these women were to write a Scream television series, all right, fine. They have experience in television. Because let's not forget, TV is completely different from movies. Some TV people, like actors, directors, writers, showrunners, they don't do a good job when they leap over the movies, and vice versa. It's just this a weird element that's completely different for some bizarre reason. And so these women are gonna have to, like, be able to write a compelling movie from start to finish and everything. And for the most part, they've only worked in television. They've never worked in a movie except for one. Nora wrote a TV movie slasher back in 2008. I think it's called like Nightmare at the End of I can't think of the name of it. Crap, I should have wrote this down. I think it's Nightmare at the End of the Room, or Nightmare at the End of the something. It's something. But she wrote a TV movie, right? And this was 2008. It didn't do well. A lot of people had mixed reactions to that and negative, and they say like it wasn't thrilling enough and it was slightly boring, and its rating on IMDb is really, really low at a 4.8. So it's kind of like if you wrote this thing nearly almost 20 years ago and it didn't do too good, then why should I trust you with Scream 8? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want another dismal movie and everything. I just really don't. And yeah, I know Kevin Williamson, he did that WB show. I forget the name of it. I don't know if it was Dawson's Creek. I don't know if it was One Tree Hill. I don't know what it was called. I don't watch those WB drama shows, but the man also writes slasher and horror. Like I Know What You Did Last Summer and like Scream and some other stuff. And so he has experience in that. The man took his time and wrote something out. I don't want another situation like I Know What You Did Last Summer, 2025, where the writer and director said that they was fans of the original and they're going to be faithful to this new one. And it completely, nearly bombed at the box office almost. Well, it didn't bomb. It just didn't do well. It had a lot of mixed reviews. It was not a good movie. Copying what came before and throwing in a bunch of stupid stuff and making it feel like a television show was not the way to go. So, yes, I am slightly worried that these sisters are coming in to write Scream. I hate being negative. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy Guy's not back. But at the same time, let me know you can get the job done. You know what I'm saying? And like writing a bunch of sci-fi and thrillers and comedies, don't tell me you know anything about horror slasher. Especially when the only slasher movie that one of them wrote pretty much just got some really bad reviews and everything. I don't like mediocre. I don't like something that's a 4.8. That's something normally you should stay away from. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm concerned, I'm worried. If it bombs, then people gonna be like, see, this franchise cannot survive without Melissa and Jenna. But yet it survived through Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 7 and everything. So, Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.